Hey dreamers, welcome back to Manifest with Metty. I'm your host, Dr. Metty, and this is Strategic Saturday, the day we talk about vision, execution, and the practical steps that turn ideas into reality. Today's episode is a little behind the scenes. I want to tell you the story of how I decided to create my very first subliminal audio. Not because I wanted to follow a trend, but because I asked myself one simple question. What would genuinely help someone? Sometimes strategy isn't about creating something new. Sometimes it's about solving a problem. If you've been listening to the podcast, you know I've been talking a lot about wellness lately. Mental wellness, spiritual wellness, and emotional wellness. I've also been talking about winding down at night and creating intentional evening routines. That's actually what inspired Manifest Nights with Metty. I wanted people to have a peaceful place to land at the end of the day. Then another thought came to me. What if someone wants something they can simply listen to while resting? That question planted a seed. Now, before I create anything, I like to learn. I spent time researching subliminal audio. I learned that people use the term in different ways, but many recordings combine calming background sounds with positive affirmations layered into the audio. Some listeners enjoy them as part of a relaxation or mindfulness routine. Whether or not someone believes subliminal messages have a unique effect, I think there's value in intentionally surrounding ourselves with peaceful, encouraging content. For me, the goal wasn't to make extraordinary promises. It was to create an atmosphere of calm, hope, and intentional reflection. Once I decided to move forward, I broke the project into manageable steps. Instead of thinking, I have to create the perfect audio, I asked, what's the very next step? First, I wrote affirmations. Then, I selected music that felt peaceful. I recorded, I listened, I edited, I made adjustments, I listened again, and little by little, an idea became something real. That's a lesson I never want to forget. Big projects aren't completed in one giant leap. They're completed through small, consistent steps. There was a time in my life when I would have waited. I would have said, I need more experience. I need better equipment. I need to know more. Now, I've learned something different. Action teaches us things that overthinking never will. Creating that first subliminal audio wasn't about being perfect. It was about being willing. And because I was willing, now I know how to make the second one even better. One thing I hope people understand about everything I create, whether it's a podcast episode, a guided visualization, or a subliminal audio, is that my intention is always the same. To encourage, to inspire, to help someone feel a little more hopeful than they did yesterday. If one person sleeps better, if one person feels more peaceful, if one person believes in themselves a little more, then it was worth creating. As we close today, I'd love for you to reflect on these questions. What's one idea you've been waiting to act on? What's the smallest next step you could take today? Have you been waiting for perfection instead of progress? Who could benefit from something you've been hesitant to create? Today's reminder is simple. Ideas don't change lives. Implemented ideas do. Research is important. Planning matters. But eventually, you have to press record. You have to publish. You have to begin. Because someone may be waiting for exactly what you're afraid to create. Today's scripture comes from Ecclesiastes 11, verse 4. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap. I love this verse because it reminds us that if we wait for perfect conditions, we may never begin. Wisdom includes preparation, but it also includes taking faithful action. This week, I want you to identify one idea you've been carrying around. Instead of asking, when will I be ready? Ask, what's my next step? Now write that down. Schedule it. Then take action. Momentum is built one decision at a time. Thank you for joining me for another Strategic Saturday. If today's episode inspired you to stop waiting and start creating, I'd love to hear about it. What's one project you've been putting off that you're finally ready to start? Go ahead and leave that in the comments. If this episode encouraged you, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, or share it. Because around here, sharing is caring. Until next time, stay grounded, stay growing. Let's go, dreamers. I love you.